ifconfig is used to configure, control, and query network interface parameters. It shows details such as IP addresses, MAC address, and interface status. IP address is a powerful tool to show and manipulate routing, devices, policy routing, and tunnels. Often used for managing IP addresses and routes on Linux systems. Netstat displays active network connections, routing tables, interface statistics, masquerade connections, and multicast memberships. It helps in identifying listening ports and active connections. Ping tests the reachability of a host on an IP network. It can be used to determine network latency and packet loss. Traceroute prints the route that packets take to reach a host. It is useful for diagnosing routing issues and network congestion. nmap is a network scanning tool used for discovering hosts and services on a computer network. It is useful for auditing network security by identifying open ports and services. SS displays detailed socket statistics, similar to netstat. It provides information about TCP, UDP, and Linux socket connections. tcpdump is a packet analyzer that captures and displays network traffic. It helps in network troubleshooting and analyzing network issues. Dig is a command line tool for querying DNS name servers for information about host addresses, mail exchanges, name servers, and related data. Very useful for troubleshooting DNS issues. Whois is a very useful query tool for retrieving domain registration information. It provides ownership and expiration details of domain names. nslookup queries domain name servers to retrieve DNS information about a given domain. It is commonly used for troubleshooting DNS-related issues. The route command displays and modifies the IP routing table. It is useful for configuring static routes and identifying route issues. iptables is a command line utility for configuring Linux kernel firewall rules. It is commonly used for network packet filtering, NAT, and forwarding. UFW is a simplified interface for managing firewall rules on Linux. It enables quick configuration of rules for allowing or denying traffic. wget downloads files from the web via HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP protocols. It can be used in scripts to automate downloads or retrieve web content. curl transfers data from OR to a server using supported protocols such as HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP. It is commonly used for API testing, file transfer, and fetching web pages. Next is SSH. This provides a secure channel over an unsecured network using public key cryptography. It is used to remotely log into another computer securely. The ls command is simply used to list files in a directory, and the rm command is for removing any of those files, as seen here removing the index file. It is the equivalent of deleting a file in Windows. Netcat is a versatile networking tool for debugging and investigation. It can be used for port scanning, sending files, and setting up simple network services. nmcli is a command line interface to manage Network Manager. It helps in managing network interfaces, Wi-Fi connections, and checking network status. It can also create, display, edit, delete, and activate network connections. Hostname displays or sets the system's host name. It is often used to check or change the system's network name. Next, the whoami command is simply a tool used in Linux systems to determine the current username of the user logged in. ethtool is used to query and control network device driver and hardware settings. It allows configuration of parameters like speed, duplex, and auto-negotiation. ARP displays and modifies the system's ARP address resolution protocol cache of known and connected devices. lsof shows and lists open files, including network sockets. It helps in diagnosing which process is using a particular port. So, you can also use it for network debugging. For example, suppose you need to know what process uses a particular TCP or UDP port. firewalld is a front-end for managing firewall rules with iptables backends. It is more dynamic and easier to configure than raw iptables. In this example, we are using the firewall cmd commands to show and manage the firewalld daemon. The Linux service command is used to manage system services, which are long-running processes that start when the computer boots up. It can be used for starting, stopping, restarting, and checking the status of services. Systemctl controls systemd services, including networking services like Network Manager and firewall services. It can be used to start, stop, enable, or disable network services. iwconfig is used to configure wireless network interfaces. It is very useful for setting parameters like SSID and wireless mode. Next, tcpflow captures data transmitted over a network and reconstructs the data stream. It is used for analyzing network flows for security purposes. It saves it in a file for subsequent examination in a way that makes protocol analysis and debugging possible. rsync is a fast, versatile file copying tool used for mirroring data across networks. It can transfer only the changed parts of files, making it efficient for backups. snmp-check retrieves information from devices using the simple network management protocol. It is commonly used in network management to monitor device statistics, very similar to snmp-walk. The cd command in Linux stands for change directory. cd is used to change the current directory of the terminal. The terminal, by default, opens the home directory. Telnet connects to remote servers using the telnet protocol. It is commonly used to test open ports, though it's insecure compared to SSH. It shouldn't really be used anymore as it sends information in clear text. md5sum generates and verifies md5 checksums for files. It is used for ensuring file integrity by comparing the hash of a downloaded file against its original file. This command generates SHA-256 checksums, similar to md5sum, but more secure. It is widely used for verifying the integrity of downloaded files and packages. The cat command in Linux is more than just a simple tool. It's a versatile companion for various file-related operations, allowing users to view, create, copy, merge, and manipulate file contents. The mkdir command in Linux is a command-line utility that allows users to create new directories. mkdir stands for Make Directory. The rmdir command removes the directory, specified by the directory parameter, from the system. The directory must be empty before you can remove it. The touch command in Linux is a fundamental tool, used primarily for creating empty files and updating the timestamps of existing files. It is essential for file management. When working on the command line, quite often you will need to create or edit text files. Nano is an easy-to-use command line text editor for Unix and Linux operating systems. It includes all the basic functionality you'd expect from a regular text editor, like syntax highlighting and multiple buffers. The less command is a Linux terminal pager that shows a file's contents one screen at a time. It is useful when dealing with a large text file because it doesn't load the entire file but accesses it page by page, resulting in fast loading speeds. In Linux, pwd stands for Print Working Directory. Along with the linux cd command, it's one of the most frequently used commands for everyday tasks. The df command is very useful and displays the amount of disk space available on the file system with each file name's argument. hping3 is a packet generator and analyzer for the TCP/IP protocol. It is used for network security auditing and testing firewall rules, being able to send thousands of packets per second. The pstree command is a Linux command that shows the running processes as a tree. It is used as a more visual alternative to the ps command. Grep stands for Global Regular Expression Print. You use the grep command within a Linux or Unix-based system to perform text searches for a defined criteria of words or strings. This command comes pre-installed with every distro. The dmesg command displays kernel-related messages, including hardware and network interface activity. It is useful for diagnosing issues related to hardware or drivers. The top, or table of processes command, shows a real-time view of running processes in Linux and displays kernel-managed tasks. Well done for making it to the end of this G-Man video. We hope you found all of these commands extremely useful. Thanks for watching, so like, share and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you again very soon.